love how open this is. Yay.
Someone bring me a beer? Okay. I'm Paul Faulstich. I'm professor of environmental analysis at Pitzer. And this is the Pitzer College Outback Preserve. It's a lovely little 3-acre gem of alluvial sage scrub that exists on Pitzer's campus. There are no buildings, there is no manicured landscaping. It is unusual in that it's, some of the last remaining coastal sage scrub we have in our region. It's an endangered ecosystem because of the threats of urban and suburban sprawl and development and hydrological changes and climate change and all sorts of stuff. There was really no formal creation of the outback. It actually happened initially in the mid-1970s when Harvey Mudd College was expanding their playing field out there, and bulldozers started impinging on Pitzer's campus, that part of Pitzer's campus. And a couple of professors, Professor John Rodman and Cheryl Miller, went out there and stood in front of the bulldozers and stopped them. And from that moment on, there was some more awareness.
To the right, you'll see East and West. East and West are dorms at Pitzer. They have a LEED certification. And in order for them to keep that certification, the Outback must exist, which is ironic because the Outback used to be much bigger, and the Outback was partly bulldozed to build East and West. So that's to the right. To the left, you have Foothill Boulevard. Foothill Boulevard sees hundreds, maybe thousands of cars each day just passing literally right next to the Outback, putting pollution in the air that the Outback plants have to experience every day.
There are a number of reasons I like to have my classes in the Outback. One is to get students outside, working in the field, getting their hands dirty, learning about ecological restoration by practicing ecological restoration, learning about nature by nature rather than just sitting in a classroom. Makes a lot of sense to me.
So class usually starts in the classroom. We'll often talk about the readings we had for the day, and we'll sometimes watch a movie and discuss that, but usually after that we take a little break and then we come out here to the Outback and usually do some sort of field work. Oftentimes it's like clearing weeds or something like that, since it's spring, so generally that's better than planting things since they usually don't take in the spring. I've put up a trail cam and have been doing some bird surveys, and so far I've seen a whole bunch of different types of birds. For example, you might be able to hear a mourning dove in the background right here.
Look at this unglorious weeding. Like this is the real work here. This is the stuff that goes unsung, but really helps maintain the Outback in a way that leaves it really accessible for people and beautiful and gets rid of some of the invasive species and stuff like that.
This class has definitely had a lot more maintenance and grounds work and landscape keeping apart from the actual course in the past, but because of COVID, things have gotten a little bit more difficult to organize. The head of the grounds crew is Nico, who's super helpful, and he's been starting to bring out all of his people here to do a lot of the heavy lifting and use power tools that we haven't been able to use yet.
When I started working over here, I was working on the kitchen before. I worked over there for like 17 years, started in 1990. And when I transferred to the ground department, pretty much I didn't know nothing about landscape or anything like that. I just love to be working outside. And every time you guys used to have the class, we used to be over there with our car fuel tools. And we used to help you guys. We used to kind of like share the information about how to use tools. Like for a reason we need to use a chainsaw. We used to kind of like explaining how we're gonna need to cut this branch over here. It used to be more like working together with you guys. And I like that a lot.
It brings students together in, for example, this class, working together for a common goal. But it's also a place that fosters community with the more than human world. So it's not just about human communities, it's about us communing with wild nature as well. One of the things about the Outback is that it exists kind of as a land acknowledgement, acknowledging what used to be here. And now we have these beautiful campuses of the Claremont colleges, but we have forgotten largely what this land used to look like. And the Outback provides us a glimpse into that. It's really wonderful that way. But it also provides us a glimpse into the cultural past of this land and who inhabited Claremont before the colleges existed and before settlers arrived. And of course, that's the Tongva people. Were it not for Tongva care of the land, this Outback wouldn't exist. One of the people who has been most important to me in the Tongva community and working with is Barbara Drake. She has been working, or was working with Pitzer students for the last 30 years, and generously giving her knowledge and her time and her beautiful enthusiasm. What a great, great soul.
So we have been promised lots of things. And honestly, this partnership with Pitzer College has been the only one that told the truth and who really made it happen. They also built a healing circle for us under the oak trees where we can just go in there and sit, you know, and not think about all the things that are negative and around us. The plants need us. They need our touch, they need our breath, they need our caring in order to live. And we definitely need them. Something that you smell or feel, even the wind that a certain time, the way it blows on your skin, you will remember something from another time.
I am really glad I got to take another one of Paul's class before I graduate. I first took a class with him my sophomore year, and his dedication to this kind of work is really inspiring. And he's just a really sweet and genuine person.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him a lot. I didn't need to take an extra class credit, but I really wanted to make sure that I finished my senior year with another class with Paul.
Over my time at Pitzer, I've been lucky to take 3 courses with Paul, and I've really developed my interest for EA and plants, land, and people, and ecology and botany. And I think with this class, I've been able to make a lot of meaningful community partnerships.
Like, I definitely aspire to be like him, you know, when I'm his age. And I think I don't know, I wanted to engrave the bench that I made. But I'm still thinking, I think we should do something to dedicate all the hard work and years he spent. I don't know, I'm just really lucky I got to be here for you know, the last ride and his last dance.
We don't have to build on every square inch. We acknowledge that there are things that nature knows that we don't know. And we're going to leave this. We're going to honor this landscape as in its natural form. Oh man, just come out here and daydream. This is totally it, man.